Hello, hello, everyone. Got a little bit of a late start. Some technical issues with the spectator, but it's okay. Thankfully, nothing exciting happened early on. We're into our round 3 here. It is the Sleepy Callers facing off against Abandoned Kittens. Both teams at 1-1. Looking to move up in the Swiss. Avoid not being able to play any further into the bracket stage. As we have some very fun things here. dtro onto that Bard with the Ashe as the AD carry. I've been talking a lot about how Ashe, even if we've seen her a lot as support, still is really strong as an ADC. But Hope and Phantom going for the Varus and going for that Renata Gloss, going to have a lot of power against them after level 2. After level 1, that is. Just because Bard has usually got a really good level 1, but Varus Renata can kind of make up for that, survive it, and throw it right back in the face of Ashe and Bard. Excelsis here. Gotta be a little bit careful against Lojaz. Yippity Yahoo Yaha. Love that summoner name. Oh, as dtro gets pulled in, tries to flash, could not even get over the wall. It was first blood. Beautiful handshake there from Phantom. Getting on the board already. Abandoned Kittens. This team might be the 25th seed, but they have definitely been showing up, surprising a lot of people, saying that we did not deserve to have such a low seed here in the open qualifiers. Solitified canceling that recall out of Diesel. Feels bad there for this one who no mana, low health, up against a Gwen early game. Not much you can really do. Just we're gonna wait until Solitified no longer wants to fight him. Get that recall offense in the spot lane. Good push up and a nice little stun there from dtro. He's able to get a bit back onto Hope and Phantom, but I feel like that's just going to be the nature of the beast in the spot lane, an ebb and flow. While Excelsis will fight against Yippity Yahoo Yaha, headed away for the rest of the team. The magical journey came in from the dtro. The body block a little bit for Excelsis. It allows Lojaz to get a lot more damage onto Excelsis, forcing him out of this bot lane. Even forcing out the bot lane entirely here of Sleepy Callers. So everyone really does want to reset. It's funny, going back to the top lane, I was talking how Diesel wanted to get that reset, never got it. Never got it for so long. But eventually, with a slow push back towards Solitified, he was able to get it off, go back to base. A lot of those minions will be eaten up by Solitified, and I would imagine that this Gwen probably can clear out the wave. Maybe, I don't know. I think she wanted to freeze it, but there's just too many minions, so she couldn't quite get it frozen. And she'd like to recall as well. Get back into base. Exert that dominance here over Diesel. But with waves consistently crashing into the turret, Solitified feels forced to stay here just a little bit longer. And it's all about this timer around these Void Grubs. As the Void Grubs are up, how important they are, especially when you have things like this Gwen, this Xin Zhao. How much power that can give to you towards the mid to late game with setting up a 1-4 around Gwen. It needed that recall. There it is. So Solitified will come back into lane. There's that Fiendish Codex already. With both junglers towards the top side of the map, I would expect to see a bit of action around the Void Grubs. While dtro hanging around mid lane. Playmaker. The last time we saw Playmaker avoiding everything. Somehow never getting tagged by anything. That Orianna play, just absolutely insane to see how they got out of so many dangerous scenarios where, honestly, most other people would die. They felt more like Indiana Jones as opposed to Orianna, just how many great escapes they had. A nice route there from dtro onto Hope with the Ignite as well, with a handshake. Gotta get the stun onto the bot lane. Sleepy Callers cannot continue to press that attack. Instead, clearing out the minion waves. It is a large minion wave that they gotta get rid of. Get all the gold they can. Or they're gonna continue to slide further away from Hope and Phantom here. I'm not actually seeing that priority around the Void Grubs like I would have expected, especially with this Gwen. Instead, we see both junglers have path, clearing out the best they can, hovering around this dragon. Ready to rumble over that first dragon whenever possible. Even calling down XiaoDanny. So he's already here. But spotted out. Lots of vision control by Abandoned Kittens. try to peel back, start off a fight, but they're going to be the ones jumped on. Flash away from Phantom. Sleepy Callers waiting for Playmaker to get here as he took the portal in, and they got a lot of damage with that scatter of the week, but nobody will fall. Instead, everyone will scatter themselves. Running out of the battle. Lojaz at least chasing him away, knowing that they have some low health bars. 50% on Excelsis. Allows the Dragon instead to go to the hands of the Abandoned Kittens. Good rotations there from the Playmaker. This is a player I've definitely got my eyes on now. Watching through the open qualifiers and how they've really set up a lot of the successes we've seen through the open qualifiers for Abandoned Kittens. Especially, like I said, with that Orianna before, even the Syndra here. Great scatter of the week, hitting 4 members. Go into the top lane, it's Diesel. This huge trade onto Solitified. He pops the needlework. Got a little dicey, but into the Dragon Pit we go. Phantom, that bailout too late. Already falls, and now it's Lojaz using the audacious charge to get away, but they're all flashing for it. They want this kill. The Dragon might not have been theirs to claim, but the bounty on your head will go to the double kill of Bazz. Great rotations there from Sleepy Callers. Might have been asleep a little bit when it came to the call on Dragon, but they weren't sleeping when it came to the call on the fight. Great plays there, and even XiaoDanny holding on to the Empress Divide that entire time. Definitely respect that. A lot of players would have used that pretty early on in a play like that. But no, holds onto it just in case. You know what? Might need that for this mid lane play, especially here against the Playmaker. Even getting some pings now onto the Void Grub since the Dragon taken. Not answered in kind with objectives for the side of Sleepy Callers. It was instead of getting the 2 kills. Getting a double kill for the Dash. Gonna be nice, don't get me wrong. And you need to contest around these objectives as well, but we go into the bot lane. Lens popped by Hope. Getting a lot of damage back onto dtro, and even getting the kill with the piercing arrow, but it's traded back. ADCs both getting a kill apiece. The fact that it's gonna be a lot more for Bazz as he stays in the lane, but we go towards the top side of the map, and it's exactly as I was calling. Those Void Grubs for the Abandoned Kittens. All 3 here to claim the first round of them. Gonna be very happy with that for themselves. I'm gonna take a sip of some Dr. Pepper while we do this. Well, as much fun as solo casting is, you know, you can do whatever you want. You can practice. Oh, hold on. Wait a minute. dtro looking a little scared there. Tries to get the damage. Nice double scatter of the week from the Playmaker, but it's going to be a very short magical journey over the wall. There we go. Now I can drink my Dr. Pepper. Perfect. Probably not the best thing to have after casting 9 games yesterday and planning on casting hopefully 10 games today. I was planning on casting 10 games yesterday, but alas, when trying to export and upload at the same time as well as cast, sometimes the computer doesn't like to keep up. Also, I messed up on some of the recordings and I had to fix the video settings, but that is a-okay. It do be how it is. Just like in this game, close between the 2 squads. Kills, the CS, the gold. Only the objectives really favoring one of the teams, that being Abandoned Kittens. Having gotten the Dragon, the first 3 Void Grubs. Perfect position for them, especially as we get closer to this mid game. I'm wondering how Yippity Yahoo Yaha, aka Lojaz, will attack the map. It looks like into the bot lane. Trying to sneak his way in. Excelsis has also snuck his way through the tri-bush with that control ward. No knowledge on either side. The Q not connecting from dtro, so they don't know that both junglers are in the bottom quadrant of the map. dtro will clear out that ward, of the control ward there. Control ward on the other side. Actually, I believe that means that they do know that Lojaz is here from Excelsis. I didn't see that before. Not going to get the temper fate to the land. There's Yippity Yahoo Yaha getting the flash out of Bazz. They are not connecting. Keeper's Verdict punts away Hope. And that's going to be the flash in. Lojaz using the Crescent Strike to get away from some of the damage that Bazz would be able to throw at him. But once it's out, they can get the kill. With that Ignite helping out. Excelsis taking a lot of damage. The piercing arrow, the ignite, but oh, the flash away from the First-Defined. The scatter of the week with the TP in for the playmaker. That was an unleashed power, almost taking down XiaoDanny, but only going to be the losses of the junglers so far on either side. Kind of crazy that only the junglers fell for how much was used on both sides. TPs, ults, flashes, ignites, but only Excelsis and Lojaz will fall. Ooh, excuse me. There we go. That's the problem when you drink Dr. Pepper while casting. Then you have to burp. And you're like, oh, well, that doesn't help. But I'm drinking it anyways. Alrighty. Now, with some of these recalls, some of these resets, getting the item spikes, Kraken Slayers on both ADCs. Not going for that Youmuu's out of hope. Wants to be more on hit Varus here. Can understand that. Especially because looking at Bazz here as this Ashe. Going to be really difficult to contend against. Even if Ashe's range as a marksman herself isn't the greatest, the poke that she can get is nice. And then once she gets the five auto attacks and has, oh god, why can't I remember the hunter something? The one where she shoots 5 times essentially. That's going to be a lot of damage, bursting through a lot of these members. Sleepy Colors. Realize that the Void Grubs were about to despawn, so nobody's actually going to get 6. Only the 3 on one side. I think they make a good call here, getting themselves that second dragon of the game. They're first. So it'll spawn up the Mountain Rift and the Mountain Dragons. Well, the Rift Herald will make her way onto the Rift. You can already see that Abandoned Kittens already peeling back for that. But wait, bot lane. Well, the play already happened on Phantom. And if Observer wants to, they can do a rewind, and I'm okay with that, because this isn't that fancy. And we can go check out the bot lane and see what happened here. Alrighty, let's see what happens in the spot lane. Oh, it was a beautiful tempered bait there from dtro onto both bot laners. The hostile takeover did not connect onto Bazz, so with that bailout, it did nothing to stop. Very well done from dtro. Wanted to see how that worked out, and great stuff out of the support here for the Sleepy Callers. Allow even more pressure of the spot lane. A turret probably will fall actually in trade for this Rift Herald. And genuinely, Excelsis didn't even need to be there. It was more just moral support because dtro and Bazz, they had that one covered. They had the kill locked and loaded on a Phantom. And all the while this Rift Herald's been taken, look at that, Bazz. First brick gold. Picked up solo too, because dtro decided to peel back. They were looking to make a play topside because now they don't have to worry about bot lane. They can trade them up, send Diesel into the bot lane, send Bazz dtro top lane if they want to, and continue to funnel gold into this hyper carry of Ashe. And that's one of the nice things that people kind of forget about Ashe. It's like with AD LeBlanc, how everyone's like, oh, AD LeBlanc, great split pushing, side lane pressure, blah, blah, blah. But then you play AP Assassin LeBlanc and you just one-shot people and go, oh yeah, that's right, she can do that. It's like with Ashe. People saw our support for so long, you just think poke. Oh yeah, it's about poke. And then when she plays an actual ADC role again, like, oh, she scales really well, doesn't she? And she does a lot of damage as she gets some items. And that's exactly what we're going to see from Bazz here. The only detriment that you have as this Ashe ADC is the fact that you don't have the best of range as a marksman in terms of your auto attacks. Your volley's going to do a lot. And then also the immobility. So it'll be all to your team to save you. Another tempered bait landing on a Phantom with the arrow too onto Hope. Never giving him a Hope out of there. Even with the bailout, it was not in time. The turret took down dtro after Hope had already fallen. So close on that one. Inches there. Hope was able to get that kill in time. Might have actually turned that around and gotten that bounty off of Bazz. But instead, it's Bazz continuing to collect in this game. This Ashe is very scary right now, especially as you're already working on the, what is that? Hearthrone axe? Oh, I always forget the name of that one too. As I take a sip, XiaoDanny having to scatter the weak out of there. I mean, stream a shuffle out of there with unleashed power. When it becomes lightning, does not connect, so no follow-up underneath the turret. As Excelsis now sees Lojaz. Just kind of throw a buckler at him. Scatter out of there. No Azir there, don't want the play. Instead, they want to look mid lane, but Excelsis now getting pinched. Bad spot to be in, but dodging away from some of the skill shots. Puts up the steadfast presence. That's going to be the TP behind. But are you going to get there in time? Keeper's verdict. Punch away the Xin Zhao with the hostile takeover. Flashed away by Bazz. Does not get connected, but does get the damage onto Hope. Taking him down, but he's bailed out. Still dies, though. And it's Sleepy Callers making the call. Double kill. Landing the volley. Lojaz on the other side of Solidified dives in as well onto Bazz. They get the shutdown over to Gwen. But Solidified, you're by yourself. One against the world. Trying to see if you can fight back. Get that damage. Snip them down, but you can't do it. You have to jump over the wall. You got retribution for the team, but everyone else fell. Solidified, only getting the one kill. It was the shutdown of Bazz, which is nice. But when you trade 1 for 4, that is not a good look at all. Technically, I think it was 2 for 4. Well, that is a lot picked up there by the rest of Sleepy Callers. Even if Bazz died, still was able to get 2 more kills off that. More gold, continuing to funnel into this Ashe. Diesel probably gonna die here. The trade his life though. He's like, I'm just taking this. I'm doing my job. Job done. Got the turret. Got the damage onto Playmaker, flashing over the wall. Spotted out by the blue trinket. Scatter the weak connect, and the snip to ribbons comes through with the snip. All the while, though, with 2 members up in the top lane, the solo laners allowed Sleepy Callers all this freedom to take down another structure here in the mid lane. More gold funneled into their pockets. They'll trade the life of a Lauren for that one, while the rest of Abandoned Kittens now chasing as far as they can. They don't want to give up that dragon, even if it's only either team's second dragon of the game. Total of 3. Doesn't mean that they want to make it that much easier. Temper Fate lands again onto Hope, and with no hope of retreat, the bailout trying to save him. Couldn't get the damage on Excelsis. Lojaz throws the Crescent Strike with the hostile takeover onto dtro. Even having Solidified there, they do get the kill onto 1. Looking for dtro with the magical journey over the wall. They chase down, snip down with a killing spree from Solidified. 2 for 1. With the Rift Herald not popped here in the mid lane. Abandoned Kittens. They might have abandoned hope, but they did not abandon the hope of this game because they did turn it around there for the 2 for 1 and taking the turret in retribution to then peel back for a second possible dragon. Doubt that's going to be contested here by the Sleepy Callers. Like you can see them peeling back saying, yeah, we'd rather just push up the waves. Maybe get a little bit of chip damage onto some of these structures, but we can't stay too long. We know they're on the dragon. So there they go. Peeling back as quickly as they can. This is the thing about Abandoned Kittens, and why I think they've surprised a lot of people, despite being the 25th seed here in the Open Qualifiers. A team that is willing to scrap, willing to fight even when behind in gold. They're not afraid. They're not afraid of anything, but XiaoDanny should be afraid of the 3 members here in the top lane as he did not land that, but nice arrow stops Solidified from engaging as Lojaz gets kited around Excelsis. Keeping a zone control with the magical journey. They'll all escape with the turret, saving XiaoDanny's life. What an arrow there from Bazz. From downtown, hitting the exact member it needed to. Literally, any other member besides Solidified gets tagged by that, it's not that important. The Gwen, the best chasing capabilities outside of Xin Zhao on the team, getting tagged by that enchanted crystal arrow means that XiaoDanny can live. They get out, they get the turret, they get extra gold, so some of that they bled earlier recouped from that play. And only losing 2 ultimates for that one. One of which is a very low cooldown in that enchanted crystal arrow that's going to be back up before any fight is even thought about. We get the TP into the bot lane, Solidified. Follow to mist. Throws out the needlework as well. Very fast on that ghost. Very difficult to get Solidified. I don't even think they really wanted to. They just kind of wanted to scare Solidified away. I was just surprised that they committed to the TP from Diesel for that one. Now we'll force Diesel to kind of hang out with the team. Put XiaoDanny as the split pusher, the 4-1. That way they can threaten around this Baron the best they can. Except they're going to call all 5 members around this side of the map. Slowly pushing back any of the vision that has been placed down well and effectively by the abandoned Kittens. They're not blind inside of this jungle. It is theirs, and they look to retain control over it. As even though Sleepy Colors trying to fight over every inch of control, every scrap of vision, all of it has been cleared away outside of that one ward. Actually, I think it's 2 wards in total inside of the jungle here on the, yep, right there are the Raptors, and I think all the way up outside of red. I think that's the only other one. Yeah, there we go, right on the Baron. All right, so 4 members here. There's TP for Solidified. Diesel, like I said, does not have the TP. When it becomes lightning disconnects, they get the 3 talent strike. The pull back in. Lots of damage onto this tank, taking forever to kill him, but eventually they'll get him. Tempered Fate. He's onto 2 members, but nobody's there to follow up. Nobody was ready for that play. Abandoned Kittens, of course they're going to go right onto the objective. There's no Tempered Fate to worry about either. There will be the arrow and the Keeper's Verdict. They could go for the call. Solidified pushing on the other side. 4v4 attempted here. They're waiting for the arrow. Will hit, give it Lojaz. Not gonna get punched away. Instead, they're gonna punch away Hope. Getting the damage onto Lojaz, but Solidified. Notices XiaoDanny on the other side. Getting a little bit of damage as Excelsis hiding back the best he can. Waiting, but Hope has now rejoined the fight with the chains of corruption landing on the XiaoDanny. The flash in, the needlework, shut down for Hope. The pull back in, junglers out of the equation. The Baron is definitely gonna be the solution here for Abandoned Kittens. They immediately make the call, no longer having to worry about that. Abandoned Kittens. The decisive call there onto this Baron. Beautifully done. Once they kill Diesel, they know that they can bait in a fight. Solidified CPU is perfect. But a lot of pressure onto XiaoDanny, so only the solitary ult onto the Gwen. But that Emperor's Divide meant that there's nothing truly divided for the team. They were all united as one unit. And Abandoned Kittens, they pounce afterwards, get themselves the Baron, get themselves the gold lead, and now can start taking down some of these turrets that they have struggled to get near. You can see where the gold really lies right now. While there is a gold difference in the mid lane, it's the top lane that we really got to focus on here. Having quite a large lead for Solidified, nearly 2,000 for this Gwen. The split push duty with the Baron on her head as well. The other surprising one has got to be Bazz and Hope. As 6-1 on this Ashe. The one that had been funneled gold doesn't even have a lead here against Hope. In fact, is dead even against the Varus. To me, that is one of the biggest surprises that Abandoned Kittens have been able to maintain their ADC's gold, keeping them in the game. Especially with the on-hit Varus. A lot better scaling than just the poke. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a Terminus build soon for this Varus, just to give him extra tankiness. Oh, those Solidified. Nah. It's so difficult to kill Solidified. Riftmaker, Gnasher's Tooth, Rabadon's Death Cap. 3 members committed, looking for Solidified, realizing they can't fight that. So instead, it was 4 mid lane. Popping the cleanse there. Looking for Phantom on the other side. It's going to be the punch back in. The hostile takeover only connecting onto 1, but they got the chain of corruption onto XiaoDanny. And all the while, somehow Phantom survived. Then the pull onto Diesel. Wind becomes the lightning crashing down on the heads here of Sleepy Callers. All 5 still alive as they continue their assault on the base. Taking 1 structure. The fact that Phantom survived, even with the bailout on their head, doesn't matter, because now the base can be open. They don't have to worry about the great wave clear from a distance out of XiaoDanny. Inhibitor to fall. Sleepy Callers on the back foot again in this game. They got upset once in the open qualifiers. It looks like it might happen twice. Or can you even call it that at this rate? It's Abandoned Kittens, the surprise team of the Open Qualifiers. They got themselves a 4,500 gold lead now. 27 minutes in. And continue to funnel that gold, into the proper pockets. Solidified especially. Monumental leads here for this Gwen. Level 16 to only 14 out of Diesel. Nearly 3,000 gold above the Ornn. Of course, it is an Ornn. You don't need the gold there, but you want the gold on Gwen. So this Gwen, ready to take over the game. Already was doing a great job in some of these team fights, some of these TP plays. But now there's just no way you can deal with this Gwen. Solidified, this is your game to win. The rest of the team has been doing a good job. Don't get me wrong. It's not like they're playing poorly. It's just at this rate, you're a late game Gwen. I love this too. Playmaker's just grabbing the blue buff. It's like, nope, you can't go. And then finally, the blue buff's like, no, I'm going home. Leave me alone. I don't want to go to the party. Oh, pings there onto XiaoDanny. Spotted out, blue trinket. No TP either for XiaoDanny. Emperor's Divide onto Hope. A lot of damage there, but not enough to pick up a kill. Poking down the best he can, but the soldiers did not help out. They silenced XiaoDanny. Another pick here for Abandoned Kittens. Found an abandoned mid laner in the bot lane. They can now push yet another lane, all the while Solidified. I wouldn't be Solidified could just stay in the top lane. I don't think that anyone can deal with you. Look at this. They're sending 4 members topside, and Solidified's kind of like, yeah, actually, wait, I can fight this, I think. I got the Scuttle Crab. Nobody else can follow up. I can keep pushing. And so the rest of the team has to answer the bot lane. No matter what, it's a lose-lose for them. It's a catch-22. Diesel, this time around, I do think will live. Only 2 members. Neither of them having enough damage to cut through an Ornn at this rate. They really need Solidified or Playmaker to be there. Fine, or Hope. But Hope has gone for that Jack Show second item. The arrow connects, gets the cleanse out of Hope. Temper Fate does not connect, but they do get the knockup, as well as the push back into the wall. Heroic charge, bouncing around Playmaker. Huge pick coming in from Sleepy Collars, but Diesel about to get cut through. Needlework pins him to the wall, as they also lose out on Bard. Killing spree for Hope. 4 versus 3. Waiting for the push. Solidified. Escorting minions back into the base. All the while, the Abandoned Kittens are just waiting for more minions to come into the bot lane so they can take down and siege. One more structure. Keeper's Verdict. Is going to tag anybody. Waiting for it. Will punch away Phantom. There's a lot of damage coming in from Hope on top of Excelsis. And Solidified. Threatening the back line. Means that nobody wanted to follow up any further. So Abandoned Kittens, they'll take that lead. Take the gold that they claimed off of that play. 2 for 1. Even if Playmaker did fall, they still do pick up the 2 kills. Keep the Sleepy Callers inside of the base. Too threatened to ever leave. We're getting the ping onto this Baron. Spawning up now. TP in. Bazz spotted out on that ward bot lane. Gonna be way too far for the play. Even if dtro did try to get the root there, and the stun on to Phantom, they have to wait for Hope. I hope. They have to wait for Bazz. You're 6-1. Ash still the powerhouse for the team. 3 items completed. This is a problem with this Ashe ADC. You can't get close to this enemy composition. There's so much damage that if you try to get those auto attacks, Solidified or Playmaker will do so much. Tempered Fate does connect into the back line, but Solidified standing there menacingly. That's the biggest problem. This Gwen, there's nothing they could do. They have no hope of ever cutting through her quick enough. And they even realized when they got a huge Tempered Fate there onto the proper members of both Playmaker and Hope, nobody wanted to follow up. They couldn't. They're too afraid of this Gwen. The Baron's being started up. That is burning quickly. No answer at all here from the Sleepy Callers. Instead, they're going to trade the 3rd dragon, not even the soul itself, for the Baron that is picked up. Difficult journey to get out. The 2 tanks having to waddle their way back to base. So the Baron, again, being worn by the Abandoned Kittens. only traded for a third dragon. Not the soul, just the soul point potential. Which means Siege again inside the base. Diesel not getting the knockup. Was hoping they were close enough on the other side of the wall that he could get it. Out of the wake, barely tickling Diesel. He is getting worse and worse to deal with. Now with the Undying Despair. It's a good item for him to be in, especially as the battles do take a long time to burn through him. Arrow on to Playmaker, the right target. They get the cleanse on the other side, but they got Lojaz on the other side with Solidified diving, looking for Bazz. They've taken down XiaoDanny. Depard Fate on a Solidified and dtro, but means dtro had to flash out of there and continue to chase down Solidified. Unstoppable. The flash in, the flash away. Nobody is out of this one. Bazz, you're only tickling him at this point, unless you can pull up a 1v5 miracle. The TP's away, the backs coming through. They've got the bailout, and there is Solidified coming back into the game. This is over. Sleepy Colors, you're going to be put into the big sleep as it's abandoned Kittens taking the game.